Hi, I'm Casey, and I did my research over the Kinh people, who are also known as Viet, or just plain Vietnamese, because Kinh means ethnically Vietnamese. And throughout this video, I will be using Vietnamese or Kinh interchangeably, since, as I said earlier, Kinh means ethnically Vietnamese. So, getting right to it, the Vietnamese hold around 86% of the population, which is a huge majority over the other minority groups, of which there are 53. And the Vietnamese dominate the urban population, the lowland areas, and the upland valleys. And but they mainly concentrate in the urban areas, such as Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, Thanh Hoa, and Dong Nai. The other minority groups they become the majority in the northern mountainous regions like Lao Cai, Hoa Binh, Son La, and Lang Son. And they cover a range of areas that covers like 2/3 of the upper portion of Vietnam. So, moving along, the linguistics of Vietnamese. The Vietnamese language originated from the Mon Khmer and was influenced by the Chinese and Dac languages. But the writing system that they had today was not the same that they had originally. Before, they actually adopted the Chinese characters and modified them into a writing system called Chu Nom. After that, around the mid-17th century, the Portuguese missionaries put together a writing system. They put together dictionaries and out of the language. And a French missionary named Alexandre de Rhodes refined it in 1651, and it was known as the Quoc Nu. And it is the system that is used in Vietnam today. And it was put in place, actually, in 1910 by the French administration that was in power at the time. So French had this was during the French colonial period in which they took over, they had power in Vietnam. And this is before the Indochina Wars, which I'm going to get to later. So, in contemporary Vietnam, the society is patrilineal, so the descent is traced back through the males in the families, and women who become the bride of some man, they go and live with the man's family. So they're also patrilocal as well. What we know of as the Vietnam War is actually the Second Indochina War over in Vietnam, which involved Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, and it was essentially a rebellion against France, which lasted from 1946 to 1954. The second Indochina War, which is the Vietnam War to us, started around 1950 and lasted until 1975. After the war, minority groups like the Hmong were actually treated as traitors to the government, because the North won. The South was backed by the U.S. military, and groups like Hmong were actually trained by the CIA to engage in other missions to eliminate Northern troops. So afterwards, they were persecuted and they were hunted down. So they were chased out to places like Laos and Thailand, and some actually got to America, but they were essentially abandoned by the United States after the war. After the war, the government that was put in place was the Vietnamese Communist Party. The minority groups of Vietnam had disputes with this government mainly because they ironically the government recognized that the minority groups were essential people in their as part of their country, but they actually passed policies that negatively impacted them, such as the 2007 prime ministerial decision to eliminate Swidden agriculture by 2010. And as I go further into my paper, as a final note, as I go further into my paper, I will explore the relationship between the Keen and the ethnic minority groups that they live with in greater detail. Thanks for watching.